actually know what's going on here?
I literally have no idea. Help.
We're 20 whatever. Hi.
Hey.
Hello. And welcome back to the last 20 whatever episode of 2022.
I'm sad.
I know.
I can't believe we're already here.
See, I feel like accomplished, not sad. I'm like, oh my gosh, like we did it. Like,
Yeah.
we launched this podcast this year.
You're right.
This is like our birth year.
Yes.
You know, as
Yes.
someone who's had a baby, those first 6 months, they can be rocky, but things were really pretty easy and
Yeah.
it's just been fun.
I feel like also like the babies thing, like 6 months, like it goes by so fast. And honestly, this went by really fast.
Yeah.
Like July to now.
I know.
Like July, that's summer.
I remember reviewing our first episode. I was on a trip with Steven and our friends, and Grace was taking a nap, and I was like, oh my gosh, the episode's ready for review. And I like ran upstairs, and that first episode, do you guys remember how long my notes were?
Yes.
I remember.
Oh my
Wow.
God, yes.
And it was all about cutting between the different camera angles. I
Yeah.
wanted it to have like a really punchy flow and
Yep.
see each of us with our different reactions. And now like we hardly send any notes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. I totally forgot about how many notes was sent on that. Honestly, from all of us.
All of
'cause
us,
Yeah.
we really didn't know like what to expect. I remember being so nervous, like watching it back, like, okay, I really need to like focus and listen to this because like this is the first one. Like this is the real first episode of 20 whatever.
Yeah. And I was actually, before I got ready to come down here for San Diego, I was clearing out my calendar and ripping out every year before I throw out my calendar, my like physical one. It said launch of the podcast, and so I ended up cutting it out of the thing and putting it in like a little folder so I can have me writing down like launch of the podcast. So yeah,
I
love
love
so lame.
I think the fact too that we did like our kind of soft launch before the big launch helped everything to feel so natural from the beginning, and the fact that we all are actually like good friends and are very much the same dynamic on and off camera. Like it felt very easy.
Yeah.
from
I think
the
it would have
beginning.
been so scary for our first podcast episode ever, literally recording ever and like doing anything was the actual first episode. Like
Yeah.
that would have been a lot for me, I think.
I would have pooped myself.
Yeah,
Literally would have pooped myself because
Yeah.
I mean, even it not being like the official, I was already like sweating and like, you know, so you're right about that.
It's just been like such a fun ride this year, and to now be at that point where we're like sitting here in our stupid little New Year's hats and beads, and we've got like the sound makers and everything. I'm like, wow, it really is like the end of the year.
Yeah.
I know it's our first New Year together, you know, this 20 whatever.
No,
Aw.
totally. This was also the time still where we were like still conceptualizing the podcast. Like we didn't have a name yet at this point last year.
Yeah,
we didn't have a name. We didn't really know like what we were going to do. We just knew we wanted to do something.
Yeah, looking back exactly like a year ago, you're like, where were we planning it out?
We were just like trying to figure out the basics.
Yeah.
Like what are we even going to talk about?
Where did the year go, girls?
I don't know, but I'm excited for 2023. I think it's going to be a great year for all of us individually, but I think a great year for the podcast as well.
I agree. We were just talking about this downstairs, but I feel like I almost don't want to jinx it by being like, guys, I feel so good about 2023. Like 2023 is going to be such a good year, because I feel like people said that 2019 going into 2020.
Right.
There was very much this vibe of like best year ever.
Right.
And I don't want to jinx
2020 was a dumpster fire.
it. It really was.
Well,
but
it's because the numbers. It felt so like iconic.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
something
2020
big is going to happen.
vision. Remember
2020.
that?
Yeah, the 2020 vision.
2020
Yeah,
vision.
blind baby.
But 2023,
Yeah.
I do genuinely feel so good about. And I feel like I'm stepping into this year probably like the most sure of myself that I've ever been.
I feel that.
I just feel like I know who I am. I know like what I want in my life. And now 2023 is just about like executing that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like right now, I think within the past maybe 4-ish months, I've like recognized who I actually am and like the comfortable parts of who I am. And then I'm like, but these are the things I know for a fact I want to change. And I've just been like not addressing them. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, now's the time, baby. Like, let's get it done. Because you're going to be like 50 one day and have all these habits that you've had. And you're going to be like, I want to change, but it's going to be so much harder. Like, do it right now. Like, just do it right now. And so I'm going to do it.
I'm on the app, the Pattern, and it's like saying like right now is like time to course correct. You either have to enjoy what you're doing, and if you are, full throttle. If not, bitch, change it. And I'm like, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. And it was, and it's saying, which I'm super
It's
excited.
such a great app. I love it.
What's it called?
The pattern. And so
it's so good. Get it.
Love it. And so it's saying like in this loop in time, it says it happens every 19 years for my pattern. And it's saying every 19 years it comes and I'm most, I guess, not strong, but most like influential or I don't even know what word I'm using, but the app is telling me right now after every 19 years, this only comes right now. So bitch, get it together for the next year. I said, okay.
So get it together right now for the next, set yourself up for the next 19 years.
For the next 19 years. So, and it says it won't come back till another 19 years if I wanted to course correct or like really make, it's really impactful right now what I'm going through. And this pattern started December 1st and it happens for an entire year. And not all patterns are for like a year. There's sometimes some are 2 months, some are 3 months, some are just like 3 days. And they're like, this next 3 days, you're going to be really inspired. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. And I think what's great about those and like fun, I mean, obviously like take it with a grain of salt if you feel like it's not giving whatever, but like for me, when I do see those, like, oh, you're going to feel really inspired for the next 3 days or 3 months or whatever, that just puts a little pep in my step to be like, okay, so I'm going to feel really, really inspired. So let me get into a space where I can feel inspired. Maybe talk to somebody that I like inspires me or watch something and I can just invigorate that, right? Like, obviously, like, yes, the app is telling me, but that's like a good way to be like, you're right. Like, maybe I should just
period.
You know, like,
you're like, you're right.
Yeah. You're giving me the opportunity to be more creative or, you know, whatever by telling me I might feel more creative during this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only the downfall when that app starts saying like, hey, right now you're not surrounded by some people. You need to start looking around. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know I was supposed to be doing that.
Looking alive, yeah.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions, or is it more so just kind of this general idea of wanting to pursue these things, change these habits?
I think I always did New Year's resolutions growing up, just being like, I'm going to, I don't know, like exercise and I'm going to whatever. And like you do it for like a week and then you're like, we're done, which I don't want to happen. So I'm trying to like think about how I want to, because I know that there are things I want to change and things I actually want to do like this coming up year that I don't want to be resolutions. I just want to be like just life changes, like just things that I want to experience. And so in order to experience XYZ, I have to do XYZ. So I think that's how I'm kind of going about it.
And that's like the much more healthy and realistic way to actually instill change in your life, you know?
Right.
And I think there is very much this idea of like the two camps of either like New Year's resolutions, you're writing your list, it's very specific things, or like resolutions are stupid, you can change any time of the year.
Right.
I kind of fall somewhere in between there where like, yes, a lot of this is arbitrary, but also the start of a new year is a great opportunity to reassess things and make some intentional like life changes.
What do you have anything? Well, since you fall in between, do you have any ideas on what you're looking to do for the next year?
So I have one like big kind of resolution, kind of project. And it's an interesting kind of blend of personal and like public life where for me personally and for Grace, I want to do the 1,000 hours challenge and start tracking it January 1st, which is where it's this idea that the average American kid spends 1,000 hours of screen time a year. And let's not shame that. You know, screen time is not moral either way. It just is. So let's not shame that, but let's balance that with 1,000 hours of time outdoors. And so there are all of these like groups and Instagram pages that share ideas of like how to get outside more with your kids. So I think I'm going to track it for Grace and I this year.
Is it literally like we spend an hour at the park today? We spent 30 minutes watching Miss Rachel or whatever. Like
so we're not going to track screen time.
Oh,
we're just going to track outdoor
outside
time. Yes.
Is the goal to end up with 1,000 hours of outside time?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
Which evens out to about 2.9 hours a day, which is
that's
real.
a lot.
It is.
That's a long time, yeah.
But I've been just kind of casually tracking the past month, and we tend to spend about pretty close to that outside, usually an average of about like 2 hours a day outside ish. So like 12 to 16 hours a week outside. So it's only going to be ramping it up a little bit and then tracking it. So I want to do that.
Feel like summer though. Like as soon as summer rolls around and she'll be even older, like it's giving pool vibes, it's giving more beach, like really outside.
And that's the thing, right? It doesn't usually end up being 3 hours a day. It usually ends up being like an hour a day in the winter, but then like 8-hour days outside in the summer, you know? If we go on a camping trip, we're outside the entire time.
Yeah.
So I want to do that just personally. And then I was originally planning of just, doing it for me. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll like talk about it in a vlog. And then I had this idea of what if I did a weekly roundup of like a TikTok reel, like short form vertical, just like voiceover. Here's the activities we did outside. It totaled to X amount of hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And I think it's like a fun way to track it and share. And it doesn't feel like too invasive where I'm like filming every activity, because I can just get a couple little iPhone clips and compile it all at the end of the week.
Well, that's amazing. And you're going to be like obviously helping other mothers, like trying to figure out how they too could get their kid out more. They're like, oh, great idea.
And I feel like we do harp on like, oh, kids are with their screens. I'm like, but when was the last time I was outside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Since having Grace, I have, especially after she was about like 8 or 9 months, I started being really intentional with getting outdoors with her. And it has affected my mental health so positively.
I bet.
The way I feel after I take her on like a nature walk or down to the beach, or, we have like a pass to Legoland. So even going to Legoland and like playing at the play structure, going on a couple rides, like having that fresh air, that like connection with the environment feels so good to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's gamify it.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's track it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I love that.
So that's my main like kind of resolution project thing that I'm going to be like kicking off January 1st.
I love that.
And that's a great one. I mean,
no, totally.
Yeah, pass me the notes. Like
seriously.
Now I want to have the intention of spending more time outside.
Me too. Me too. What about you?
It's getting me thinking. So I've been thinking about this. I know this episode was coming up, and I was like, oh, am I going to have a New Year's resolution? Because I feel like I'm you, Sierra, where it's like in between a little bit yes and sometimes a little bit no.
Right.
So I think that for this next year, I am just going to be very intentional with what I put my focus on, whether that be with people, programs, social media, anything. Just really noticing, because I feel like our focus takes so much up of my brain space and my reality and everything. So I'm like, I'm going to put my intentions and my vision on just things that I know are important to me. And if I'm like, oh, that's not really what I'm into, I'm like, all right, then you don't have to give your attention to it.
Right.
And maybe it's like when I get myself caught up in like, oh, what about this? I'm like, no, if that's not important to me, let's revision, let's refix the vision.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we get so stuck on that hamster wheel of like, I have to do this, I'm supposed to do this, and we don't often take enough time to take a step back and go, who am I doing this for? I don't like this.
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying this. Who's this for? And I think it's so amazing that your resolution is to say, let me just like look off to the side of the hamster wheel for a second and be like, is this for me? Do I like this?
Yeah.
For me, like I think last time we chatted on the podcast, I was really talking about like, what do I want to do? And I was like, I just want to do it for me. And I don't know if I've been living for someone else for a long time. I don't know.
Maybe somebody you thought you were.
Or what I thought I wanted. What I wanted, what I thought. And that's the problem with, well, not the problem. That's the gist of growing up. You realize, oh shit, is that actually what I want? Is that going to get me to where I want? Because sometimes I'm even doing stuff thinking that's going to help me. And I'm like, wait a minute. That is not even part of your vision. So why are you even doing that?
Right.
I'm like, right. All right. Back to what I want for me. So.
Yeah.
Ugh,
I feel that
spoke so deeply to
no,
me.
Same. I feel like there's a part of me that definitely feels like my focus is all over the place. And then there's another part of me though, because I like, I guess technically like work for myself or whatever. Like I don't have a schedule, and it has become very clear that I operate as if I don't have a schedule. So I don't get most things done. Or the things that I set out to do, I do, and then I forget about all like the fun stuff because I didn't schedule time to do it because I do not have a schedule. Like I just wake up and I vibe, and then I'm like doing things, but there's no like, I feel like I need to schedule time for work stuff, personal stuff, and then like fun stuff. Because something's going
to take your attention. Make it be the right thing. And that's even for social media. I heard somebody said, put out more content than you consume. I'm trying to put out more content than I consume. And I realized how much content I just consume. And I'm like, but also on that same note, what content am I putting myself in? I start going onto TikTok. I mean, we're all guilty of it, where you're like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, wait, this is not even important to me. Refocus. My God. You wasted 2 hours on some, I don't even know what.
Yeah.
And that's where doing that like flip phone for a week video, which was literally in the summer. Like it was like 6 months ago, but still impacts me. I know.
6 months ago.
I know.
Wait a minute.
Oh my God. Wait. Yeah. Because we took our first picture of the first episode when she was doing that video.
Holy shit.
On the phone.
That was so long ago.
I know.
That feels like 2 months ago.
Isn't that wild?
My God.
Or less.
Wow.
But that video is still impacting me because it made me realize there's not anything wrong with enjoying scrolling TikTok or watching YouTube. Like, those things are great. We all need to decompress. We all look for entertainment in different forms of media. But the problem is when we end up there without realizing it. Mm-hmm. When you're scrolling mindlessly and you're not like enjoying it, it's not a de-stress. It's not a let me catch up and see what people have been up to.
Yeah.
You just end up there without, like, kind of on autopilot. Mm-hmm. And I think that video made me really aware of that, to the point that now when I notice myself like on autopilot, just like open Instagram or open TikTok, I'm like, no. What are we doing here? Yep. I did not intentionally think like, sitting down to watch some TikTok sounds really nice right now. I just opened it.
Yep. I did that the other day. I like was on Instagram forever, closed the app, moved on, did something else, came back to Instagram, and I was like, nope, not what I was doing. It happened like 3 times in a row. And I was like, nope, that's not what I'm doing here. Let's stop.
I'm easy only on Instagram. I see one of my influencers. I'm deep in her account. Why am I deep in her account for so long? And I'm just like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. What if I... No, focus. And I'm like, why is this consuming me? This is so irrelevant and not helping me in any way. But, so anyways.
Right.
I have to have like tunnel vision. I'm like, nah, peace, success, love. Only if it's not that,
or like, I
live,
know,
laugh, love. If it doesn't fall in those 3 categories,
kick it to the curb.
Take it out back.
Yep. I also feel like the way people in the past, and just like, I think the wording around like New Year's resolutions always is really weird when it comes to like eating habits or like health. People want to be like, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds. You're like, okay, if that's what you want to do, like, love that for you. But like in this way, it feels so like unattainable when it's like just based off of literally because it's January 1st. Like, you're gonna immediately change your life and like do all these things, when it's like you really could just be like, I just want to like go outside more or something like that. Something that you could truly like obtain and not feel restricted by also.
And I think that's such a good point too, is that it's not like that, you know, wanting to change your body or lose weight is inherently bad no matter what.
Right.
But I think it's setting the timeline, right? On January 1st, and a lot of these programs to really capitalize on, if you start now, think of how you'll look at summer.
Right.
You'll be bikini body ready if you start now, right? Mm-hmm. And then when we really take a look at that, okay, then it's not about health. And it's not even about the way that you want to look for yourself. It's about an unsustainable change to reach a certain time. Mm-hmm. Instead of, I want to make this change long term in my life, it's like, I need to do this now so that I'm ready by summer.
Right. But also the important part is understanding why you're doing it. Yes. Because I think that with our resolutions, we're like really thinking like, okay, this is what I'm looking for in my life. And I don't know if that's maybe the intentions with like, I want to lose 100 pounds. You're like, right, but why and with what? What is the reasoning? What is the, you know, all that stuff. So
and
I just don't
know. Why now
feels...
and why not December 1st?
Yeah.
Right. Or like or the
November
middle of the year.
1st.
Exactly.
Yeah, it gives, I don't know. There's just.
But that's, I feel like that's what makes every resolution, whether it's literally anything. It makes it difficult when you're like, January 1st, I'm changing everything that I've done for the past however many years of this past year, and I'm changing it today. Tomorrow, that's the day.
And how hard is it to change habits? Like
so hard.
Yeah.
So
and you're assuming just because
hard.
it's January 1st, like all of a sudden you can do it. I mean, you can't. You can do anything.
You can.
You can do anything.
You can do anything.
Yeah.
However,
but also, if losing weight was that easy that all you had to do was commit to January 1st, everyone would be skinny.
Right.
So it's not, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And I do think that there is, as a plus size person, that element of New Year's resolutions that's almost like anxiety inducing, where it feels like everyone expects you to lose weight.
Yeah.
I think for me, not so much, because I am so publicly, you know, about self-love and acceptance and fat positivity and body positivity. But for a lot of people I know who are plus size, there is this expectation that January 1st, you're going to change your life and your body. Mm-hmm. And I have noticed that even if I'm posting the same things, sharing the same routines, the same recipes, the same workouts, if I'm sharing that in January, the attitude is so different than like any other time in the year.
Like positive?
There's an expectation that I'm doing it to lose weight. Mm-hmm. Of like, oh, is this because you want to lose weight, or is this because you want to change your body? And it's like, no, this is the same crap. This is the same recipe that I make every month of the year.
Yeah.
But there's this expectation that that's what it's for. And even things as simple as like going to the gym. Going to the gym in December, I feel totally fine about it. I don't feel a type of way. When I walk in the doors of the gym, like January 2nd, 3rd, whenever I happen to go to the gym first in January, I know I'm going to have that feeling of like, do people think I'm here just because I'm fat?
Yeah. I think I saw this TikTok, it was probably last year, and it was stitched by someone, by this woman who was like calling these people out, but it was like, I hate going to the gym in January because all the fat people are there, like fucking blah blah blah.
And that's what's in my head in that moment.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's gross and ugly.
I was just gonna say, imagine being,
an
I'm
asshole.
gonna stop right now because I have nothing nice to say.
But there is very much this attitude of like, oh man, like all the fat people come to the gym in January, they're gone in February, and it's like, you know what? Just first of all, if they're at the gym and if your whole thing is that, you hate fat people, you should be thrilled.
Encouraging.
Yeah, you should. Aren't you happy about this? Like, I don't get it.
Right.
Yeah.
But and then on the other hand, it's like, okay, so then if they all leave in January, so what?
And then
who cares?
Aren't you happy that they left? Because
right.
you just complained about them being there. Yeah. They just want to talk.
I was just going to say,
those hateful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just want to have a reason to complain.
I think that's something that not just this year, but that I've learned over the past couple of years is that sometimes there are people who are just going to search for a justification for why they don't like you or a group that you're a part of or an identity that you have or the way that your body looks. And it's not always really about that whatever thing they're focusing on. That's the masquerade. Yeah. That's what they're able to use to hide it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, girl. And we're leaving those people in 2020.
Too.
We are leaving them in 2020.
Yeah, we left them in 2020. They've been long gone. That's the nice thing, too. Another turn of the year thing. It's maybe not as like positive of a resolution, but it's a good opportunity to maybe assess some relationships.
Assess everything.
Honestly, yeah, because I feel like that's also a point too where like, yeah, maybe it's time to cut some people off or like handle those relationships, but it also could be like, I really want to nurture this relationship that I may have been lacking on all last year. This is a time where I'm going to put my efforts in and like really try to like enhance this relationship or whatever it is.
And romantic relationships, which we have not been able to like fully talk about.
What the hell
on the
does that
podcast.
have to do?
I was just thinking about this.
She's thinking about the love.
We haven't talked about the boyfriend reveal that happened in Palm Springs, and then the next episode was filmed before that. We haven't gotten to like fully grill you
on the couch.
Like we haven't, and be like, oh my god, Ryan has a boyfriend. So I'm gonna say it now. Oh my god, Ryan. But you're entering 2023. God, why can I not remember what year it is?
Because all the years are the same. They all just mesh together. It's 2019. Honestly.
Yeah, I stopped.
It's 2014.
Yeah, it is.
It's 2012. The world ended in 2012.
The world ended in 2012. Yeah, this is a simulation.
No, but you're entering the new year with a relationship.
I am. Yeah. It's been very good. It's been very fun. Very festive. We got together like right before holidays kind of started, before Thanksgiving and everything. So it's been very like
the best. So you can spend the holidays.
Season.
Yeah.
And remember, you were saying, I hate the holidays because it's going to be so in my face at how single I am.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't.
And then it wasn't.
And for Christmas, Santa brought you a man.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been really cool. I've definitely had to like do a lot of like inner conversations with myself. I find myself not reverting like back to before my relationship, but like a lot of like insecurity stuff is coming up, and I'm like, this is now at this point you can talk to him about that. Like, you don't have to assume or guess or anything like you would if this was like a situationship or just like a hookup situation. Like, you're not going to bring up your feelings or your emotions with somebody who clearly like that's not what the vibes are. And so I tend to be like, oh, this is a me situation, I need to like handle that. And then me again is like, no, you're in a relationship, this is two people, like you need to like discuss. And I'm like, ugh, now I have to talk about my feelings with people, which is not my favorite thing, but we're here, we're learning. I'm new here.
Feelings, love.
Oh, yeah.
Mushy gushy.
Mushy gushy.
It was so, first of all, just personally, it was so cool to see you guys together at the retreat and really get to know him and just how awesome he is and how great you guys are together. And then it was really cool to see everyone else reacting to him from the podcast in the comments.
Yeah.
They loved him.
Yeah. I love that. I love that you guys love him. But I really didn't know like what the vibes were going to be. Like, not even a clue. And I was telling him, I was like, you need to talk to Boy Riayn, because I also don't know what he's going to be pulling out. Like, you guys need to figure it out together, because Paloma and I are busy.
Yeah.
So figure it out. But they both did so well. Boy Riayn
in the middle
did the thing.
in the middle of the meetings when they were playing football and trying to fish out stuff.
We actually
is that what you mean?
Yeah. Well, that part they did misbehave a little bit, but on the podcast they were like really giving.
Yeah.
They were talking about Boy Ryan's audiobook voice.
Oh
yes,
my gosh,
they loved his voice,
I know.
which I do too. So
No, it was great. Somebody was like, "Hot damn, Paloma!" Like, God,
They were like butter. Good
Yes.
job. I was like,
geez.
I really, I when I read that, I closed my. I was like, okay, Riayn, let me close my eyes. I was like, say something. He's like, what do I was like, just say something sexy. I don't. I'm like, I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see.
You go back. You're like, yes, like butter.
Yeah.
you're like, and for Christmas, I would like an audiobook read by you.
I would like a Sierra erotica that's written for me, read by Riayn.
By Boy Riayn.
I will send me Boy Riayn. You're gonna be getting your script forwarded to you. It's Sierra.
Yeah.
Sierra forwarding.
Oh my God.
Twas the night before Christmas.
I can't. I actually can't. Well, I think my favorite thing was having all of our partners be on the podcast and then seeing them like hang out.
Yeah,
I was
watch
like,
each other.
This is so
Yeah.
cute. It was
Well,
so
when they were
cute.
shooting that cute little clip for the TikTok, just watching all the boys be together was
Oh
just
my
so
God,
fun.
for the Christmas
I love
one on the pool table.
Yeah,
that was so
Loved.
fun.
so sweet.
I think I watched a TikTok like 100 times, like over and over and
The
over.
TikToks from the trip were so
They
fun.
were so good. They came out amazing.
Your parents' Christmas.
yeah,
that was my favorite
Everyone was
one.
like, Lori's my favorite. I was like,
Yeah.
geez, thanks. Me
Same.
too. Yeah.
Speaking of other relationships and romance, are we going to chat about Vanessa Hudgens having like 5 different mans?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
we have to talk about this.
So in the last episode, we talked about the Princess Switch phenomenon that is Netflix. We got Princess Switched. I don't know the second one, and then Princess Switch switched again. That also might be wrong. I don't know, but there's 3. Why?
Vanessa Hudgens plays all of the lead females.
Yes.
Different accents. But
Yes. So there's like an American one who's like a baker, and then there's the other one who's a royal, like a princess, I guess, in wherever. And then there's another one, a cousin who looks like her or looks
she's
like
the
them.
evil Vanessa Hudgens.
Evil Vanessa,
She's
and
like
she's
the Cruella,
blonde,
yeah.
and she has a crazy like
Accent. She's
accent
like,
and-
ooh, spice.
yeah,
What
like
are we doing?
it's so that was really good.
I'm so sorry.
No, it was great.
Well, and what's interesting too is the first movie, The Princess Switch. They're clearly taking themselves seriously as like a Hallmark movie.
Yes.
I don't think it was by Hallmark, but like that
that
vibe.
cheesy but like warm-hearted, like this is a sweet story vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like the main character of that movie is like the American baker Vanessa Hudgens who like goes to this foreign country and meets this princess who looks just like her but speaks in a British accent, and they switch, and ha ha ha, so wholesome.
Right.
The second one, they started to lean into the like, okay, we know what we're doing here.
Yeah.
This is like goofy.
Well,
and
that's the one that they brought in, the third
Vanessa
Hudgens. Yes. Vanessa Hudgens.
Vanessa
if you will.
Hudgens in plural form.
Plural. Yeah.
And then the third one, which is what we watched literally this morning while drinking mimosas and eating pancakes.
Yes.
It's like the American British baker Vanessa Hudgens maybe has 10 lines. She's hardly in it.
She's not in that movie.
She's not in it. Like, she says the 2 things in the beginning and has this like weird non-romantic fake relationship with her husband
who's
who like, the whole relationship was the first movie.
And then at the end, the man goes, "I'm so glad we did this together." I said, "What?
You
weren't-
did what-
the
you
They
one-
didn't even have
here.
one scene together.
She wasn't even." So that's a question.
Yeah, we don't know about that, but the mother too. The other ones,
But the Jackie one was giving.
who?
The one when she had short hair, like
Yes.
the Jackie.
Oh,
vibes.
Jackie O
Yes,
vibes. Yeah.
Yes.
When Vanessa
Because
was
she
The
ended up
princess, the
marrying
princess. Yes.
American Vanessa's best friend from wherever they're from.
Yes.
Yes. And then the third one, the blonde one, the cousin,
The one I
Fiona,
love.
Fiona.
I do love her. Even though bad, but so good.
so bad, but so good. She was
So
like
bad, it's
doing
good.
like random like meows. Like,
Yeah,
why was
like-
she doing that? That's so weird.
It is weird. It's a very weird choice. And if people did that in real life, we'd be like, that's weird.
And here's the thing, right? So, like, an element of it is the weird delivery, but also, how do you read that in a script that your character just has to say meow and then not make it weird?
no,
Right. And also everyone else like receiving the meows were just like, ooh. Like again, if somebody was like meow, I'd be like, I'm sorry.
And it's funny because then when the mom showed up to really show that was her mom, the mom
Yes,
meowed at the man too.
boy.
Yes.
Why is this? Why is this older woman going meow
But
to
also,
this,
like,
to this man?
Why is that something that happens in your family?
I don't know.
Why would anyone do that?
I don't know. Is there
Ever.
something sexy about that?
Yeah, no.
Like cats, right? Okay. That's a cat sound. And
Okay, okay.
normally normally that like people would do like meow. But like again,
maybe it's like I'm ready to pounce.
Right.
Like rawr.
No, for sure.
No, ew, I hate it every second.
I said
of that.
rar. Rar.
It's like middle school. Rar XD.
Yes. I literally thought the same thing with my fucking like swoopy headband, emo hair. Okay, anyway.
You had emo hair? I have not seen these pictures.
I've tried to find them. I definitely had the bangs, and I would wear the headbands like push up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yes, I've seen
and the
those.
feathers.
Oh gosh,
feathers.
those feathers.
Yeah.
I really need to find up my MySpace
I know.
pictures. We
That's
should do that.
New Year's resolution. Find pictures back in the day.
That would be fun.
And we could show them on the pod.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
So teenage dirtbag. Like,
No, oh my God, so teenage dirtbag.
embarrassing.
Have you guys
For
seen
sure.
the meme that's like, you weren't a teenage dirtbag, you were just in Seussical?
Yes, and I felt that as well.
I'm like, I feel attacked.
That is
Dude,
so.
There's a speaking of Seussical, not to like derail, but you know,
That's what we do.
this is what we do. So there's this theater group in our like in LA somewhere, and they're doing Seussical, and like I don't want to do Seussical, but they're like all adults. I'm like, I don't want to do Seussical, but I'm like,
I kind of want to do it.
I kind of want to do it.
That sounds kind of fun. Who would you want to be?
Maisie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing Maisie.
Amazing Maisie.
That's so cute. You'd want to be Maisie. I love
Yeah.
that. Oh my
I mean,
God,
I could be
that'd
Sour
so cute.
Kangaroo too, but like, I want to be Maisie. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
you should
Yeah,
be
like, I wanna
Maisie. I just did not know that.
But also, like, I don't actually want to be in Seussical.
You just like the idea of being in Seussical.
I just like and I think I'm just missing like shows. So
Yeah.
I just like I'm so desperate.
Dude,
I'll
that's
do
how
anything.
you know you've hit rock bottom
When I'm,
with
like,
theater. You're like, I would do
considering
Seussical.
God, you're so right.
Chasing the Who's.
Yeah. What?
Chasing
Biggest
the
blame
Who's.
fool in the jungle of New.
Yeah,
What's the other
yeah.
one? The Wickersham Brothers.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
embarrass myself on the internet anymore.
I was gonna say,
That's the other thing
roll
we do
the
here.
tapes, roll the tapes.
Okay, but Princess Switch.
Oh, right. Sorry.
So the plot of this third movie that we just watched is essentially that the magical MacGuffin has been stolen, and to retrieve it, all of the Vanessa Hudgenses need to disguise themselves as the blonde evil Vanessa Hudgens.
Right.
So all three Vanessa Hudgenses are like stomping around with their little sassy boots and being like, "Oh, meow."
Yeah.
Like that's
Spicy.
the whole spicy. That's the whole entire movie.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I
Honestly,
have nothing to wear. That's all she was saying. Too.
Literally, the entire plot is that they have to get the MacGushin.
Just MacGuffin is just like a stand-in
MacGuffin.
word for like the magical thing that doesn't matter but drives the plot.
Oh, I'd never heard that word.
So like in Star Wars, like the MacGuffin in the new ones is like the Sith Wayfinder or like the Holocron. Sorry, I'm sorry. That probably was not helpful.
Maybe a different
Different
example.
example.
You've seen Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Maybe collecting the Horcruxes
Yes.
would be
Okay.
Those are MacGuffins. Yes.
MacGuffin.
We need this thing to save this
The thing.
And that's the
Okay.
MacGuffin.
The
Yeah.
MacGuffin.
So like the point being, it doesn't actually matter what the MacGuffin is.
Gotcha.
But everyone wants it. And
I
needs
thought
it.
you heard them say this is called a MacGuffin and you knew, and I was like, all right, period.
Nope. That's not what it was called in the plot.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, all three blonde baddies had to get the MacGuffin, and they got it. Spoiler alert. Sorry. Yeah, they got it.
Did you think they weren't?
Yeah, if you thought this is, come on. This is a Christmas film.
Yeah.
They all end the same.
They all in the same with kisses and fireworks.
Yeah. Happy family.
Although, here's the thing we were talking about. Like, okay, so Vanessa Hudgens is playing all three leads, so she gets to kiss all three like romantic
Guys.
partners.
Yeah.
There was clearly one where the chemistry was
Off,
zero.
dude, off. Like, not even like, we're all actors here, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell.
She literally looked disgusted. And this is
dude,
the one she's supposed to be married to. This is her husband.
Like, the whole first movie, that was the plot. Like, that relationship, the worst one.
Yeah.
The worst one.
They kissed, and then she literally looks at him and goes like this.
Yeah. Like,
And then says something like, I love you, or this is the happiest, like something like that. And you're like,
You,
No, you don't.
girl.
and the way she delivered I love you was a I love you.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't even like endearing. Like,
yeah,
I
it
love
wasn't even
you.
like an endearing one. She was just like, oh, babe.
Yeah, oh, you silly man.
Yeah. And then when she got to the Asian guy, she was going real crazy.
Oh my God. Then it was like their chemistry. I was like,
well,
do I
they
need
like
to leave?
well, they like kissed like a few times. Like the couple with like the original like prince or whatever, they kissed and it was like, mwah. And then we were like, okay, boo.
Boo.
Then we got to the new guy, the like cute little Asian one, and they were like kissing, and I was like, period.
It was-
And then the other one, the with the short Jackie O'Hare, was kissing her man, and I was like, period.
Yeah.
They made out before the end of the movie. Remember? In
Yeah.
the castle. I was like,
And it was all
Hello?
Vanessa Hudgens.
And it was all Vanessa.
It was all Vanessa.
It was all one girl.
Oh, we were talking about her exes.
Oh yeah,
Zac Efron, Austin
Butler.
What an icon. Couldn't name a third. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But-
those are the two that matter.
Imagine being the third person to come into that, like you're Vanessa's third ex.
Iconic.
That would
though.
give me such a confidence boost. Like, okay, she dated Zac
She
Efron,
dates Zac Efron.
and
We're
then
done.
Austin Butler, and then
Come
me.
on. And then
Yeah.
me. I am Zac Efron.
Yeah,
Like, that's how I feel.
That's so
Dude, that's exactly how I feel.
wait. Right now we're watching Zac Efron's newest show, the Down to Earth. Or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah,
Yes.
And Zac Efron has like a bracelet on, and Ryan goes, "Oh my god, like the one I have." I was like, "See, baby, you just like Zac Efron. Yeah, you just like it." That's kind of what it's giving.
Same vibe.
If you have any resemblance to Zac Efron, I'm like, "Yep, that's why I like you."
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah,
yep.
exactly. Yeah, remember we were watching, was it Elf? No, not Elf. Santa Claus.
Uh-huh.
And the little elf. And Ryan was like,
Oh,
I had
yeah.
a crush. Please tell the story. It's so cute.
No, you tell it.
You tell it.
We were watching the Santa Claus movie, and you know that part where like that little girl brings hot chocolate to the man. He's like, "Oh, I brought you your pajamas and this hot cocoa." Blah blah blah. Ryan was like, "I remember when I was a little boy, I thought she was so cute, and you look like her." So, and I was like, "Oh,
It was so cute.
And I was like, "Thank you," because she's so cute. And I remember she was like, "Oh, she's so cute." So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
It was very cute.
I think childhood crushes are telling.
I do too. Except not really.
Why? Who was yours?
No, I just like liked everybody. Like,
Everybody.
there was just so much going on that I couldn't be like this one person. Like I always
Yes.
like this type. It was just like everybody.
Yeah.
I just like everybody.
Me
Oh, well.
playing Smash or Pass.
Literally. She's like smash.
Eyes closed.
Eyes closed.
What can I say? I'm a lover.
Oh, is that what it is? Is it love?
Is it love?
Or is it less?
Is it lust? Maybe it's both.
Maybe.
That was one of my favorite episodes of this year, finding out about the erotica, so we can keep grilling Sierra
yeah,
about all
but
the sexy
horniness.
stuff.
Yeah.
I can't believe I told you guys that I used to write Harry Potter erotica.
And here's the thing: you've got us and
Excited.
all the audience waiting for our erotica.
You might
book.
be waiting a really, 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 really long time. But maybe like on my deathbed, I'll be like, you know what?
She publishes it.
Here's my manifesto.
Here's the thing: just write it and keep writing until you can't write anymore, and don't publish it. Don't do anything until you're ready to die. Then you can give it to us.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to just like really make your lives spicy when you're like 90.
Yeah.
That's what I needed.
That's true.
That's what I'm gonna need it.
You know what one of my favorite revelations from the podcast was? Halloweena. That is the most iconic one.
Yo,
That-
y'all use that against me on Thanksgiving, and I'll never forget it.
Listen. Oh yeah, we did. Here's the thing. That was such an iconic moment. Like people still talk about it. I mean, obviously Halloween wasn't that long ago, but like that's something that people are not ever gonna let go.
Well, because we did the question box to ask you guys
Yes.
like what your favorite moments for the podcast were this year. So many.
The number
Halloweenas.
one thing that we kept seeing was Halloweena.
I am still being referred to that in my DMs and on comments, so I don't know how long that will be going on for. Long live
Forever.
Halloween.
Keep it up.
Long live
Long live
Halloweena.
Halloweena.
But Halloweena's got to only come out during October, you know. Right now she's sleeping. It's like a Mariah Carey. She's thawed right now. Like right now she's full. She's in full form.
Yeah,
But
she's in full
right
form.
now Halloweena, she's in her dragline. She's
Right.
Maybe Netflix needs to make like a Princess Switch Halloween series starring you, where there's 3
Oh.
Palomas. One is Paloma, one is Halloweena, and then who's the third?
that bitchy bitch from the block.
What?
I don't know, because you have to have 3 different characters, and I don't want to be like
J-Lo?
Yeah,
Okay.
No, but not J-Lo. It's like bitchy.
No,
from the-
right. I know, but I'm like Jenny from the block. That's why I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
is
that's
that
where
what
mine-
that is?
that's
I was
exact-
like, is
that's
that what we're
exactly
doing?
what I was going for.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
Jenny
what I
from the block.
because I was
Dude.
thinking characters, and I'm
No,
thinking
right.
the third one's got to be like that.
Yeah. But she also has to be blonde.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
And I picture it as like Halloweena, like used to live in her small town and was like the one who organized like the Halloween parade. And then
Right.
she moved to the big city and like she goes by like Hollow or like something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
not
yeah,
full
yeah.
Halloweena.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm like need to go back and get in touch with my roots.
right, and she like she finds out she's like a witch or something.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Netflix.
Right then, yeah.
Pick it up.
Pick it up.
I
But
would
pay
like
us.
a cameo,
Yeah,
please.
like let's not steal ideas here. Really giving you gold.
What were should we go through some of the other submissions?
Yes.
The cheetah girl fits.
Yes.
Iconic.
All the Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
Halloween was definitely like I think my favorite batch of episodes for sure.
Yeah, something I'm looking forward to so much next year.
No,
Like,
yes.
I think we've
The
already started
TikToks?
talking about
No,
it.
yeah.
That was so fun.
The TikToks were
Yeah.
like I think the most fun. We have many mentions of Kenny Ortega making the set and just talking about him. And also somebody said Riayn shooting her shot at Kenny Ortega. And I'll do it again.
Yeah.
I may have a boyfriend now, but who says I can't have two?
Oh my God.
Hall pass for Kenny Ortega.
Hall pass
only.
for Kenny Ortega.
That's funny.
Oh, the truth or drink.
That was a good time.
That was so fun.
I think that might be our most viewed episode.
Fair.
I think so. I'm not totally sure, but I know
it has a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Once a year.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I think we should make it an annual thing.
Me too. It was so fun. And I think the more the audience gets to know us, like the more like juicy they're trying to get, they're trying to get the tea.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun.
Oh, there's a couple of when we played We're Not Really Strangers.
Yeah.
Aw, I had a good time, but I felt like a lot of crying.
There was a lot of crying in that episode. That's what a lot of people were saying.
I got closer with you guys with that episode, though, I will say.
100% agree.
I remember the feeling of like, I cannot control this crying when you were talking and we're sitting here and you're talking about like just how, much this podcast and like our friendship and all of us together means to you. And I was like, I am just a waterfall and that's it.
Yeah. That was definitely like the most heartfelt episode, I think, for all of us. And I remember ending that episode and being like, you guys, I think we literally hugged. I was going to say, I think we hugged.
Yeah. And then we did another shot.
Yup. Oh my God. All the mentions of Jess, all Jess's cameos.
Yes.
Our
Dude,
queen.
Queen Jess. Yeah.
Which Jess is not in the building as we're filming this. Actually, should we cut to we have a cam rolling for Jaden.
Jaden, welcome. Hello.
People loved you. They were in the comments like, I love Jaden. I want to see more of Jaden.
It's the Gen Z.
Yeah.
Her people found her.
Yeah, Jess is on vacation right now, so it was just us kind of bumbling around, setting everything up.
Mom left the kids alone.
Yes. But we're good. We handled it. Look at us.
Yeah, we had one issue with the audio before we set up, and fingers crossed we fixed it and you're hearing this.
Yeah.
And it sounds okay.
Yeah, thank God you're hearing
I was going to say, and we figured it out, but I'm like,
did we?
Did we? We don't. I hope so.
We'll find out.
I'm sorry if not.
Oh my gosh. So many memories, you guys.
I know. So many memories in such a short time. Honestly, like it's only been 6 months. Like it hasn't even been a full year of 20 whatever. Like we're going to start next year and have a full year.
I know. What's to come this next year for us,
What
ladies?
do you guys want to see?
Let us know.
Because I feel like
we're people pleasers. We'll just do whatever. Just tell us. Ryan's like, not me.
They'll do whatever. But I mean, we're going to take a little bit of a break.
Yes.
Before we come back.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that because I actually forgot and I wasn't going to mention that. And then people were going to be like, where's the podcast?
Right.
So we're taking some time off for the holidays. So that pushes our production back a little bit. So we will be filming again in January. So likely posting again weekly starting in February.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of 20 whatever. We will see you in
the
2023.
new year. Oh, should we end it with a
oh
Happy
my God, yes.
New Year? Happy New Year.
Headphone listeners, R.I.P.
Bye.
Bye, guys.